Jacob, can you have your camera, please? Okay, so here the step of solving rational equation. First, you have to completely factor. That's why I'm saying factor is very important. It's always there. And then a second step, I would recommend you find the domain of a rational equation. If I give you a fraction and I ask you to find the domain, what do you have to look out for? When you find the domain, it's easier to find something that make the things undefined, right? So if a fraction or a rational equation or rational expression, what do you have to look out for? What can't you do?
Oh, was it divided by 0?
Yeah, right. If the denominator is 0, then that's a bad thing, right? Because that's the only thing that you have to look out for at this point, up to this point in this class. So you have to set the bottom at the bottom not equal to 0, right? Well, first you set it equal to 0, and then you solve for x or whatever letter I set up to, and then you say it cannot be equal to that value, right? Otherwise, it makes the denominator equal to 0. Find the domain of rational expression. In most case, or up to now, is you set the denominator not equal to 0. And find the ultimate LCD for all denominators. I hope you guys watched my lecture last time. I talk about the ultimate LCD, right? I show you two methods. The first one is kind of longer, but it explain it to you why explain to you a bit better, right? More steps. Well, that means easier to make mistakes. The second method is ultimate LCD. This is my favorite. I always use that one. It's short, less likely to make mistake. Fourth step, you multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD, and then you solve. Right? So it's kind of similar to last time-ish, but last time we talked about expression, right? But now it's equation. So for this one, first, is it completely factor? Example 1. Is it completely factor? Yeah, right? Nothing you can split 2, 3, 1, 8, or y, right? So it's completely factor. Now the domain will be the denominator. It cannot be 0. I know 8 is not 0, so we're good. 4 is not 0, so we're good. So we have to watch out for y, right? So you're gonna set y. So now we're gonna set y, the denominator. This cannot be equal to 0. So this one is kind of easy. So let me say domain. Domain. What's the LCD here? What's the LCD here? More than that. LCD is something that can be divided into all of them. So 8 divided by 8, 8 divided by 4. What else? No, 16 is not least. 8 is the least. Yeah. I need something. So LCD again is some big number that is divided to everyone at the same time. So one person said 8. So there's 1. 8 what? 8. What else? You have to divide by y too, right? 8y, right? 8y, because 8y divided by what? By 8. 8y divided by y. 8y divided by 4, right? If it's 8, then 8 divided by 8, 8 divided by 4, but it's not divided by y, right? So that's 8y. Something big that divided by everybody at the same times. What is down? So And then that's the third step. And then the fourth step is you multiply both sides of the equation by LCD. So multiply both sides by 8y over 1. Okay. So that means I have 3 over 8 times 8y over 1 plus 2 over y times 8y over 1 equal 1 over 4 times 8y over 1. The reason we do this because we want to get rid of the denominator. Right? So you could solve. Okay, so now, okay, 8y, the 8y, and the 8 is gone, so just y, so 3y plus what? Here the y and the y is gone, so I have 2 times 8 is 16 equal 8 divided by 4 is 2 on the top, so 2y. And now you know how to solve for this, right? The reason we do LCD because we want to get rid of the bottom, make it simpler. Subtract 2y, subtract 2y. Gone. Let me go over here. So I have y plus 16 equals 0. Minus 16, minus 16. Gone. And use green. Makes it consistent. Y equal negative 16. And that will be your solution. Y equal negative 16 is your solution because the only thing y cannot be equal to is 0, right? Everything else is okay. Okay, good. Second one. Do you have any question from the first one? It's kind of similar to from last time, right? It's all the LCD thing and domain and factor. The second one, for first step, completely factor. Is it factor? Is it all factor? Is it all factor? One, just basically, but when I ask you, is it factor? You look at each of them. You look at each of them. So 1, 4, n, are they okay? 21, n squared, you can write it n times n, right? So it's kind of factor-ish, right? It's the only thing is n squared, you can rewrite it n times n, but I'm not gonna do that. So what's the domain here? Domain is something that the denominator cannot be equal to 0. So what's your denominator? Yeah, n, right? So well, I have n and I have n squared, but n squared is n times n, so it's n, right? So n cannot be equal to 0. And you say n squared cannot be equal to 0 too, and then at the end you say, well, it's the same thing, so n cannot be equal to 0. LCD. Thank you, Kobe. Hi, Curtis. LCD. Something divided by everybody at the same time. So n divided by 1, n divided by n, but n does not divide it into n squared. So you have to go up a little more. What is that? What divided by n squared evenly? N squared, right? N squared, n to the 4, n to the 6, but you want the least, so n squared, right? So n squared over 1, LCD. And then you distribute that, so 1 times, I would say 1 over 1 times n squared over 1 plus 4 over n times squared over 1 equal 21 over n squared times n squared over 1. Don't write this down. I mean, you can finish this step, but the next step I'm about to write, don't write this down. Now, if say Mike on the exam and he just say he found the LCD is n, right? So n. Well, this one okay, right? This one okay because n cancel with n on the bottom, but when he comes to the third one, n cancel with only one n on the bottom, so he still have one n on the bottom, right? So he know that he need more than just n. So that's how you check. So n squared it is. All right, so the first one, n squared times 1 is n squared plus 4n, right? Because one of the n squared on the top, cancel the n in the bottom, equal 21. It's oh, such a, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, you can factor. Not bad. Now, what should I do next? What do you think I should do? Critical thinking, just a little bit critical thinking. Make that great self work. Yeah, Kobe.
Isn't that the P and S?
Yeah, so yes, good, very good. It's a P and S thing, product and sum.
The product would be 21 and the sum.
You on the right track, but then you have to make a little more small step before you do that. Subtract, yeah, you have to move everybody into one side, right? So subtract 21 first. Yeah. But you're on the right track. Well, 21 and negative 21 cancel on the right hand side. On the left hand side, n squared plus 4n minus 21, because they're different term, right? You cannot combine them, equal 0. And now you can factor. Product is, what do you think? We're now color here. Product, well, sum is 4. Product is what? Negative 21. So what are the two numbers? Yeah, 7 and 4, and then it has to be what? Which one negative? You want 7 and 3, my bad, 7 and 3. It has to be negative 3, right? Because positive 7 plus negative 3 is positive 4. And then 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. I would recommend you do the number first. Don't worry about the sign. The sign will be the last. And what's my next step? What's my next step? Now that I found those two numbers, what do I do?
You want to plug them back in.
Mhm.
Like,
So how would I write it?
n squared plus 7 n times negative 3.
Minus. Yeah, minus 3n, right? Because 7n minus 3n is 4n. Good. And now you have 4 terms. So what do we do when we see 4 terms? Group, right? We group factoring. Make it simple. I group the first 2 and then last 2. And what can I factor out of the first 2? Yeah. What's left? Yeah, n plus 7. And then I can factor out the negative 3, right? And n plus 7 again. It has to be. If it not, then something wrong. And now n plus 7, n plus 7. So that means you can factor it again. N plus 7. And what's left is n minus 3. Equals 0. Don't forget that part. Now, if two numbers, these are two numbers, some number times some number equals to 0. That means what? At least one of them has to be what? 0, right? So at least one of them has to be 0. So this mean n plus 7 equals to 0, or n minus 3 equal to 0. One of them, right? So what n should be? N equal -7 or n equal 3. Can I take -7 and can I take 3? Is it my solution? Are they my solution? Are they okay? What n cannot be? 0, as yeah, anything but 0, right? So those are your two solutions. Yeah, you should, yeah, because they say solve, right? Solve means they're looking for solution. When you see equal sign, then you want an equal something at the end. Do you have any question? You see the similarity between the two? Yeah, and the third one, same thing. It's just tiny little bit more complicated, but it's the same step. It's follow that 5 steps. So first, completely factor. So let's take a look. 9 is nothing I can do. A plus 11 is okay. 6 is okay. A minus 11 is okay. Can I factor a squared minus 121? Which is, yeah, this is. Now, if you see something square minus some number, you're gonna ask yourself, can I write it as a difference of 2 square, right? So 121 is the same thing as 11 square, right? So this is equal to a plus 11 times a minus 11. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing we have here, right? So that means the bottom cannot. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite this as 9. Oh, my bad. 9 over a plus 11 minus 6 over a minus 11 equal 6 over a plus 11 times a minus 11. You don't have to, but I like to helping out. So that means the denominator is, I'm sorry, the domain means what? Domain means denominator cannot be 0, right? That means a plus 11 and a minus 11 cannot be equal to 0. So this implies a cannot be what? Cannot be, no. A plus 11 is, let me make it equal to 0 first. And you guys solve for a. What a equal?
So A can't be -11 or positive.
Yeah. If you subtract -11 both sides for the first one, you have a equal -11. You add 11 to the bottom one, you have a equal 11. Okay. And now you put that little thing back. Right? The sling diagonal line. Okay, so your domain is anything but positive 11 or negative 11. All right, then now continue and solve. So let's solve, see what we have. LCD now is, what's the LCD? Remember, everything that divide everything at the same time. So it has to be at least what? Well, I need what? I need a plus 11, right? And what else do I need? Yeah, a minus 11. Just do one thing at a time. You say, okay, what do I need? I need that. And maybe one more, and maybe one more. Just one at a time. You don't have to think a lot at one time. Over 1, I always do that. And now you distribute. You do. I'm not gonna write. Should I write out? I don't feel like writing out. So if I distribute to the first one, what left and what's canceled? Yeah, 11 plus 11 cancel. Now I have a minus 11 on the top. The second one, a minus 11 cancel. What's left is a plus 11. And the last one, everybody cancel except 6. Now easy. Now easy. Now you distribute the 9 and the negative 6 into its parentheses. So I have 9a minus 99 minus 6a minus 66 equals 6. Combine like term, I have 9a and negative 6a, so that would be 3a. And then I have negative 99 and negative 66, so that will be 16, 5 equals 6. Yes, 165. So this step is easy, you can do it yourself. 3a, 3a equal 171. Divide both sides by 3. This one cancel. Let's see, 17 divided by 3 is 5, 21 divided by 3 is 7. So a equal 57. And it is my solution because anything but positive or negative 11. Right? Why don't you guys try number 4? Should be 4 here, not 3. Again, factor first. On the exam, you probably see something like, you probably see something just like this, like one of these 4. Probably you have 2, one like this and one like this, kind of like. Jacob, can you turn on your camera? What you got? And you go 2? Still will go. Okay, still will go. That's okay. Still will go. Okay. You look like it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you got the right factor. Oh, that's okay. Sometimes we have no solution, sometimes we have solution. Oh, almost done. Okay, good. All right, so first you're gonna factor. All right, just do by step. I give you partial credit, even though you don't finish. Just tell me what you know. So first I factor m squared minus 5m plus 4. Well, let's do guess and check. M times m is m squared. 2 number multiply is 4, add to negative 5. 4 and 1, right? 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5, but you want negative 5, so negative 1 times negative 4 is still positive 4. And it's the same thing as this one. So you're lucky, right? So that's good. So LCD must be, we'll definitely need an m minus 4 and m minus 1. Right? So we divide everybody at the same time. And then you distribute. So I have, if I just, let me rewrite this. I'm gonna rewrite this. Go down here and rewrite this. M plus 11 over m minus 4, m minus 1 equal 5 over m minus 4 over minus 3 over m minus 1. Okay, all right. Right, so the first one, everything cancel, right? So it's just m plus 11. The second fraction is there's 5, and then m minus 4 cancel, so m minus 1 minus 3 times m minus 4. So far, so good? That's the hardest step. The rest you know how to do. M plus 11 equal 5m minus 5 minus 3m plus 12. Combine like term, I see 5m and I see negative 3m. So it must be 2m. I see negative 5 and positive 12. So that will be positive 7. And then rewrite everything else. You can subtract 2m or you can subtract m. Right, let's subtract m because I don't like negative m. Right. Subtract m, subtract m. That's cancel. So I have m 11 equal m plus 7. Subtract 7 because you want m all by itself. Cancel. So now I have m equal 4. Oh, I forgot one step. The domain. My bad. What's the domain? Domain is the bottom cannot be to that. So I have m minus 4 and m minus 1 cannot be equal to 0, right? Or you just set it equal to 0 first and then you solve for m. Add 4 both sides, so m equal 4, or better yet, m cannot be equal 4. Add 1 both sides, m cannot be equal 1. Right. So I have m equal 4 at the end. Can I take it? That's my only solution, but can I take it? No, right? The domain say it cannot be 4 or it cannot be 1, right? Even though you have one solution, but you cannot take it. You don't box it. So your answer will be, again, you have to tell me what is your solution. So what do I say? That's my only thing that I cannot take it, so no solution. Solution. Sometimes you have solutions, sometimes you don't. Bummer. So the idea is very much the same. The 5 steps, you just follow it, right? The hardest one is to finding the LCD. That's it. The rest is easy. Before I continue, we only have like 1 or 2 pages left. I want to show you something, some fun. Can you decode this message? Kevin, Alex, Jacob. Yay! Good on you, Alex. Yeah, split decision, right? Excuse me, game. One more. This one a little bit harder. Slightly harder. Oh God, you want? I'm not sure I want to open the message. I don't know where it is, but I want people in the class to try too. You think? Good for you, Alex. Long time no see. Yeah. Some fun. All right, I think 2 more and then we're done. 2 more and then we're done. So now instead of setting up the equation for you, I can say something different. I can set up, it's the same thing. You follow that 5 steps, but I can express my question differently. Right? So first, if I give an f of x equal x plus 1 over x squared minus 2x minus 3, and I ask you what is the domain, so what do you say? It's a fraction, so it's a fraction. So first of all, what do you have to do first?
Factor
Yeah,
out.
you factor it first. First thing first, factor. Right, so x plus 1, nothing I can do, leave it alone. The bottom, What do you think? I don't have to do in scrap. Let's go ahead and write here. What are the, well, there's x and the x. What are the two number multiply give you -3, add to -2? Kobe. Yeah, very good. That's it. These are easy. You can just go ahead and guess and check it. So, and then now the domain is gonna be what? You say x -3 cannot be equal to 0. And x +1 cannot be equal to 0. So what number when you subtract 3 is give you 0? Well, 3, right? So x cannot be equal to 3, x cannot be equal to -1. You don't have to show me in interval notation unless I ask you to. Would you be able to tell me in interval notation for this one? How many interval you think? Yeah, Kobe.
Would it be,
Just for fun.
would it be, negative infinity up until -1 and then be parentheses because you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
A union and then would it be, parentheses, -1, comma 3, parentheses. Comma 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then another union with 3 and then infinity.
Very good. One more check mark for you. Very good. But I'm not sure I should ask you. Maybe you guys okay with interval notation? Okay. All right. Now, B, I asked you to solve f of x equal 1. What does f of x stand for? Y, right? That's your y. F of x is your y. So basically, y equal 1. So that means what? That means I'm going to set this whole thing equal 1. Right? So that means x plus 1 over, I'm gonna use the one that I already factored, over x minus 3 times x plus 1 equal 1. Right. Now you know how to do this. What's my LCD? Yeah. Thank you, Taylor. X minus 3, x plus 1 over 1. This one right here, I would put it over 1 like that. Distribute into this and into this. Okay, so the first one, everything cancel. So x plus 1 equal on the right hand side, 1 time that thing is just x minus 3 times x plus 1. Well, x minus 3 times x plus 1 is the same thing as what? X squared minus 2x minus 3, right? You just FOIL it back. Why do I do this? What's my next step? What do you think I'm gonna do? What's my next step? Combine like term, right? Combine like term. So I'm gonna subtract, I'm gonna move everybody to the left. How's that? Because I see x squared, so that means I have to factor, right? So everybody to the left. So minus x, and make sure you put it in the same line right here if they are the same thing. Right. So and then I even subtract 1 too. Maybe I'll use I'll use black. It's fine. Subtract 1, as long as they're under the same line. Okay, so the left hand side is 0. Everything cancel. Cancel. And so 0 equal x squared minus 3x minus 4. Can somebody factor that for me? On the exam, if you do like just S and X, I still give you one point. You know, you don't know what's next. But just write out what you think it is, right? Partial credit. 2 number multiply give you -4 and add to -3. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. So the two thing right here, multiply is equal to 0. So that means either x minus 4 equal to 0 or x plus 1 equal to 0. Once you factor them, you can set them, each of them equal to 0. So x equal 4 or x equal -1. Okay, I forgot, okay, all right. Can I take x equal 4? Yes, right. Can I take x equal -1? No, right, no. So yeah, I'll still use red. Just gonna put an X with it. And because is because of the domain say so. And this one, there's a fancy term, it's called extraneous. Extraneous solution. Extra, right? Extra, something extra. You don't. If you can remember this and put on your exam, if you have something like this, I'll give you a bonus check or bonus point, one point. So your solution is x equal 4. That's it. So far, so good. Do you have any questions? It's slightly different, not very much different, but slightly different. Part C is find the point on the graph at this function values. What does that mean? Well, it wants you to graph a solution. It wants you to graph. Okay, it wants you to graph a solution. So that means you need x and you need y. Well, I know my x is 4. What's my y? 1, right? That's your y. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. So 4, 1. That's the solution. That's all they want, really. Why don't you guys try number 2? That'll be your last one. And I'll put the solution in the chat. People from my Zoomer, try number 2 and please put your solution in the chat. You can. By the way, we have quiz next tomorrow. Everybody has to be here to take the quiz. The reason I'm doing this, not because I'm being difficult, but because I just want to be fair, right? Because last semester, I let people take the quiz from home, and people in the class like, it's not fair. What if like she or he cheating? We don't know. They don't trust my proctoring, right? Well, they got a point there. So I just have to make everybody come to class. Be fair. And it'll be online again, right? So please bring your laptop or iPad. When we have a quiz, you should turn around so I can see your screen. And 15 minutes again, so don't go over, it'll close automatically. Any question, let me know. Does anyone have a factor yet for this one? Do you want to say out loud? Okay, 3 and 4, C. Yep. You do from there. Have anyone on the Zoom got the solution? Kevin, you got it?
No, I don't have a solution.
So the domain is x minus 3 cannot be equal to 0, and x minus 4 cannot equal to 0. So this implies x cannot be equal to 3, x cannot be equal to 4. B is solve f of x equal 3. Does anyone have a solution? Devin, you got one? 9. Is there no solution or you don't? Oh, okay. I don't know we have solution or not. I don't have one either. So f of x equal 3. So that means I'm gonna set that whole thing 8 minus x over x minus 3 times x minus 4 equal 3. Multiply both sides by x minus 3, x minus 4 over 1. And then distribute. So I have a minus x, just a minus x, right? And then on the right hand side is 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 4. X minus 3, x minus 4 is the same thing as x squared minus 7x plus 12, right? And then distribute the 3. So that I have 8 minus x on the left. On the right hand side is 3x squared minus 21x plus 36. Now you need to distribute the 3 before you actually combine like term. Now combine like term, so or move everybody to one side. So I'm gonna subtract 8, and then add x. Make sure it's aligned. So on the left hand side is 0 for everybody. On the right hand side, I have 3x squared minus 20x plus 28, right? Two number, or maybe this one need a little bit else. TLC. Let me go up here. Let me go up here again. I'll use purple. Product is what? 3 times 28 is 3 times 8 is 24. So 4, 3 times so 84. So product is 84. Let me rewrite it neatly. And the sum is negative 20. What are the two numbers? Let me see. You're gonna use a calculator. I'm gonna divide it by 2 at first, because it's even. 84. That's 42 and 2 is not gonna work. 84 divided by 4. 4 and 21 is not gonna work. Is there any number? 84 divided by, no, 84 divided by 6. No, it's not gonna work. Oh, for 6 and 4, yeah, 6 and 14. It works. So the two number is, I have 6 and 14. This negative 20, so negative 6 and negative 14. If you see something like this, like big, if an even number divided by 2, right? 84 divided by 2 is 42. 42 and 2 combination is not going to give you 20, right? And you continue divided by 4. Again, combination does not give you 20. Divided by 6, eventually give you the combination. So this one is going to be 0 equal 3x squared minus 6x minus 14. You can do negative 14x first and then negative 6x, doesn't matter. Plus 28. Group factoring because there's 4 terms. I can factor out 3x. So now what's left is x minus 2. I can factor out 14. Yeah, 14. Negative 14. X minus 2 again. So x minus 2 times 3x minus 14. Oh, no, I'm okay. Equals 0. So now that means x minus 2, red, x minus 2 equals 0, or 3x minus 14 equals 0, x equal 2. I'm gonna give you add 14 divided by 3, so 14 over 3. It's not contradict with our domain, so we okay. We pick 2 of them. So your solution will be x equal 2 and x equal 14 over 3. I don't feel like, now part C is ask you to find the point of the graph. So can someone tell me 2 points? I'm not gonna make you graph it, but tell me 2 points. What are them? What are they? When I say point, I mean x and y. Well, x is 2, right? And then 14 over 3. So what's my y? 3, right? 3. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like graphing this. Instead, no. Yes. I'm gonna do on decimal. Hang there for a second. Almost done. I want to show you something. It's one of my favorite websites. You guys use decimals sometime? Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be 2, 3, 2, 3, right there. And then 14 divided by 3, 3. Oh. I tried to see. All right, right there. Right, so 2 points. Do you have any question? All right, if not, do you guys see my share screen? All right. So I just want to show you the last thing before I leave. Picture of the days. So on the Memorial Day weekend, I take my family to Detroit Zoo. The kids really enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day and see you tomorrow.
Gotta go to the zoo. I live like right across from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you live in Roanoke?
I live in Pleasant Ridge. So like
Oh, okay. Is
yeah,
that Ferndale? Is it Ferndale?
It's like right in between
Oh.
Ferndale and Royal, like right there. It's this little. very
Nice.
small area.
Yeah, it's fun. I like Roanoke.